Where do you buy tax lien certificates online? Well, you're on the right path because more and more frequently, tax lien certificates are being offered online. Be sure to watch this entire video because I'm going to give you 4 websites, which is the best 4 websites to get tax liens online. Plus, I'm going to introduce you to the world's foremost guru, the guy at the top of the heap on tax lien investing. Has been doing it for over 30 years, and he can give you the insider secrets that very few people know that took him decades to learn, that you can learn watching one video. When you are talking about tax liens, what's happening is that someone didn't pay their real estate taxes and the county needs that money. And they need the money because they pay primarily for schools. They also pay for police, firefighters, collecting the trash, filling the potholes, doing all those county government services. But the biggest part is schools. And counties don't have the ability to print money like the federal government does, and they have a limited ability to borrow money. So they need to collect that real estate tax revenue to cover the services they provide every year. And they really need to balance their budget. So it's important that everybody pays. So what they do when someone doesn't pay, in many counties, they'll sell a tax lien. And what that means essentially is that they say to the public, hey, if someone will pay these taxes, we'll give you the right to get the tax money when it's paid plus interest at a really high rate. These interest rates can be 10, 15, even 18% per year and higher. There's one state that on an annual basis is a 50% interest rate. So it's amazing. I mean, 50%, I don't even know that loan sharks get 50%. So you can really be good. And you don't have to deal with the normal nonsense of collecting on bills. Like, you're not having to call anybody. You're not having to send them nasty letters or anything like that. What happens when people pay off their tax lien is they go down to the county tax collector's office, they pay the lien, they pay the interest, they pay everything, and then behind the scenes that money is shuffled off to you and you get the profits from it. What the county gets is the ability to pay its bills, which is what they want, and what you get is a really high rate of interest. And these things are being done more and more online. Every year they're more. And there are a couple of websites that I'm going to tell you about. But what I want to tell you about first is start locally. Find out if your local area sells tax liens or not. And what I'll do for you, if you look down below, I'll put a link to a chart that I have that lists states that sell tax liens. So if your state is one of those that sells tax liens, then you're on the right path. There are also states that sell tax deeds. A tax deed is when you get ownership of the property. So when you are the bidder, you're the high bidder, then at the end you own the property. That's a different thing. I've done videos on that. You can search on my channel and find plenty of videos about that where I do education on it. In this video though, we're talking about tax liens, which is a financial investment where you're going to get a very high rate of interest and a minimum of hassles. You don't have to own the property. You don't have to deal with tenants, termites, toilets, or even sending nasty collection letters because the county does that for you. So it can be a really lucrative investment. But the trick to these is make sure that the property that's supporting your tax lien is a really good property that either you or someone else would love to own and would bid on, because at the end of the day, depending on the state you're operating in, you're either going to get the property because someone didn't pay off the lien, or that property is going to be put up for tax deed auction, which will hopefully generate the money to pay you the taxes that you're owed plus your interest. But that's only done when the lien is backed by a solid property. So when you're buying tax liens, make sure that you're checking out the property in advance. I've done videos on that. You can see the due diligence process on my channel. Just watch some other videos so you can see that. I don't want to get deep in depth in that on this video. Instead, I want to talk about where can you actually see these things online. So first, check in the county where you want to invest and see if they're offering online auction. Often they are. Secondly, check out the sites like realauction.com, Lien Hub, GovEase. All of those sites offer tax liens. In addition, many states offer over-the-counter liens, which are fantastic. Those are the secret bonus, like rocket fuel of tax lien investing. That is the best place to look. And if you want to know more about that, then you need to watch a video that I did with a buddy of mine who is the world's foremost expert in over-the-counter tax lien bidding. If you look down below, there's a link to an interview with Tony. Tony is the guru at like the top of the mountain on over-the-counter tax liens. He's the guy that you'd like tromp up the Himalayas for 2 full days in low oxygen to go sit at his feet and learn what he knows about tax lien investing, because he's been doing it since the early 1990s. He knows it better than anybody. He's bought thousands of properties himself. He's helped thousands of people, and he is the guy. And you want to get educated by Tony if this is what you want to do. So I did an interview with Tony where I got him to spill his guts on tax lien investing, especially over the counter. And that's a video you definitely want to watch. So I'm attorney Bob Diamond. Click in that video and I'll see you over there.